Hey, Rachel, great question. So, to the best of my understanding of this documentary slash position piece is related to claiming that all the fresh foods and all the natural products like meat products and things like that are riddled with poisons and these infectious organisms, these parasites and all this other stuff. And they're, it sounds a lot like they're trying to steer you away from naturally produced products into more processed things because, God forbid, you know, you have E. coli in your colon, forget the fact that it's on food somewhere, right? So if that's the case, then never eat in a restaurant again, okay? Ever. Just pack it in, stay at home, never eat in a restaurant again, okay? The point is, you want to understand where people's perspective is and where they're coming from and what's their special interest. Because people have been foraging for food for, let's see, human beings, Homo sapiens are 200,000 years old based on carbon dating, as far as I understand it. And so, yes, we have mass manufacturing now, and the standards of the FDA and the manufacturing processes now are so high that they test these things, right? They test for them. So thinking that we're more at risk now because of fresh foods and produce than we were in the past, like, you know, in Spanish they have a word called aguas, which is watch out, because they used to chuck their toilet water out the window, okay? I mean, we're long since that day, but the idea that pathogens are the issue, how often do you hear, like, I mean, you'll hear it in the news, like if you go on CNBC, not CNBC, that's business, NBC, CBS, something like that, you know, we had an outbreak of salmonella, right? And so, but how often do you actually see that? How often do you hear about it? Like you would hear about it from people, okay? So there are bigger forces at work when you're taking these things into consideration. So I just want to caution you to take a pause and say, you know, is poison really benefiting me, or are they steering me some direction? Is forks over knives designed to promote a lifestyle, or is it really designed to reinforce like the ending of meat products and things like that? So it's a broader issue, but can be summed down to pay attention to the source of the information you're receiving, be a discerning consumer, and don't just take it as gospel as though this is truth. Okay, so.
Have you talked about Wim Hof?
Oh yeah, for sure, Wim Hof. Yeah, if you don't know who the Iceman is, he actually subjected himself to IV E. coli into his bloodstream, and shown there were 0 negative impacts. Thanks for that, Essa. Totally forgot that, but yes. So if Wim Hof, one human being who is not any more special than anybody else, he's just practiced like maintaining and processing and controlling, if you will, his autonomic nervous system. So he can call into his immune system and say, all right, this is not an offensive thing. It's not an attack. It's just coming in. Okay, we're not going to process it as any danger. So he injected E. coli into his bloodstream, and he had 0 ill effects documented. He was in a hospital doing it. Okay, so one piece of information that Nissa was kind enough to remind me of. So just take it with a grain of salt. Anything you hear, get more than one. I'd expect at least 3 data points from 3 separate, unique resources. Not copycat journalism. You know, you go on Google, it's almost copycat journalism. The first 10 things are almost the same thing, regurgitated and just reposted. So be very mindful. I would not consume anything from Google. If you want information about that, go on to Google Scholar, go on to PubMed, and then even still be suspicious, okay? You just got to be mindful, okay? All right, so hope that helps, Rachel. Be well. Take care.